On today's Live Daily News, an update in the Ray Vera trial, demolition of ASU's Concho Hall begins, and former police chief Tim Vasquez wrote San Angelo Live a letter. Those stories and more. I'm James Bellini, and this is Live. We'll get to the news in a minute, but first, ground zero for the eclipse that happens on April 8th is in Del Rio, Texas, and that entire city is holding the Solar Eclipse Fest from April 5th through April 8th. It's 3 nights and 9 music performances headlined by William Beckman, Michael Salgado, and John Michael Montgomery. To learn more about the largest eclipse festival in Texas, visit txsolareclipsefest.com or Google search for Del Rio Eclipse. Del Rio also has a raffle for a brand new Eclipse car. More details at txsolareclipsefest.com. Starting things off, we have an update from the courthouse in the Ray Vera trial. Today, the bar fight that led to the stabbing death of U.S. Marine Bryce Rudisell was described as a dog pile on the dance floor of Whiskey River Saloon. The fight was broken up by security but continued in the parking lot where 5 people were stabbed in total. Played was a video interview of Vera where he said, "I don't remember nothing." Video from inside the bar did show that Vera did not throw the first punch but did get involved quickly. This trial will continue tomorrow, but check out San Angelo Live for more details. Demolition of Angelo State University's Concho Hall is underway. Known as the men's high-rise, this won't be the spectacular implosion, but more of a traditional break-it-down piece-by-piece demolition. ASU's Executive Director of Facility Services, Cody Gwynn, said that it's much more cost-effective, logistically easier, and they don't have to protect all the surrounding buildings. But yes, it does not have the wow factor of an implosion. So if you're looking for a video like the 2009 implosion of the University Hall, you'll be disappointed. Have you downloaded the all-new San Angelo Live mobile app yet? It's now available on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, so all iPhone and Android users can have the latest news stories delivered directly to their phones. That's the all-new San Angelo Live mobile app available now. Former police chief, now inmate of the Federal Correctional Institution in Jessup, Georgia, Tim Vasquez, wrote San Angelo Live a letter in which he expressed his displeasure with the Supreme Court's refusal to hear his case and has asked to be moved to West Texas, but his file reads that he has been moved to his current location to limit his scope of influence. Vasquez was convicted of bribery and 3 counts of honest mail fraud. To read Vasquez's letter in its entirety, go to sanangelolive.com. Of course, with the San Angelo Rodeo approaching, the rodeo events start this Friday. Although the slack has already begun in the Spur Arena, the Western Finance Carnival opens this Friday at 5 p.m. and the rodeo's first performance begins at 7:30. On Saturday, the rodeo parade begins at 10 a.m., with the second performance to begin at 1 p.m., the third performance at 7:30 p.m., and the fourth performance on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Into weather, we have a beautiful forecast coming up to end the week and run throughout the weekend. Right now it's 80 degrees outside, and the low tonight drops to 45. Thursday, the high is 86 with a low of 53. Friday, the breeze kicks in and we have a high of 85 and a low that night of 57. On Saturday, it'll be mostly sunny and breezy with a high of 84 and a low of 47. And on Sunday, we have a high of 79. Early next week, though, there is a 40% chance of thunderstorms. When we come back, sports analyst Ryan Chavit talks about ASU tennis, and an NFL wide receiver is on the move to some minor league team in Houston. Then an interesting interview with Patrick Frerich of the city's operations to talk about roads. But first, a word from the Bass Bunch.
2024 means savings galore at Jim Bass Nissan. Why not drive off our lot in a new 2024 Nissan Frontier, priced right at just $33,999. While you're here, be sure to ask about 2.9% APR financing. This truck offers a mid-size truck with full-size truck capabilities. Hurry! These are limited offers, and you can only get these deals at Jim Bass Nissan at the corner of Houston Hart at Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Texas' most successful professional football team last season and the only one to win a playoff game made a major offseason move on Wednesday. The Houston Texans made a blockbuster deal with the Buffalo Bills for one of their top wide receivers. 4-time Pro Bowler Stephon Diggs is headed to Houston for a draft pick. Buffalo gave up Diggs, a 6th-round pick this season, and a 5th-rounder next season. Houston had one of the most exciting runs to watch last season as they won the AFC South and defeated the Cleveland Browns in the first round of the playoffs. Diggs joins reigning NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year C.J. Stroud, as well as Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and former Cincinnati Bengals running back Joe Mixon. In other sports news, the Angelo State Ramblers tennis team returns home after a lengthy road trip to host a Lone Star Conference matchup against St. Mary's. The Bells are 14-2 overall this season and currently sit near the top of the LSC at 4-1. The first match begins at 11 a.m. on Saturday, so come out and support the Bells as they pursue a conference championship. And of course, for more sports around the Concho Valley and beyond, be sure to check in every day at sanangelolive.com/news/sports.
So gross.
Deep down, upholstered furniture is dirtier than it looks. Carpet Tech safely cleans all types of furniture and mattresses, killing germs and removing spots and odors. Right now, get 15% off upholstery cleaning from Carpet Tech. Call or schedule online at carpettech.com.
If your home is in a red, call Carpet Tech, yeah.
And welcome back to the show. Joining me today, it's always a pleasure to have people from the city, but Patrick Frerich, it's really good to have you here. Because every day, anybody that drives sees what you kind of wrangle.
Right.
The streets of San Angelo that's
one of them. Yeah.
That's one of those.
We oversee several divisions in the city, but streets are by far the one that's in the public eye the most.
Okay. And we've seen some huge improvements recently. And we can talk about A&M and the work on College Hills, but for me right now, North Chadbourn Street. Hats off to the contractors and the designers and all that. I mean, North Chadbourn, the difference is night and day. It is so smooth and so aesthetically pleasing up there right now.
Right, and it absolutely is. Back in 2015 when we did the road condition study, that North Chadbourn section was absolutely on the top of our list. And we actually started the design process back in that time.
Okay.
But at that point, it was a mill and overlay. And we saw over the course of time that we just didn't have the base structure underneath that roadway for a mill and overlay. And so, what we kind of did from the city's perspective is look at different areas, and we found some additional money in order to, we actually over doubled that budget for North Chadbourn.
Okay.
In the meantime, we tested out a new process for the city, not new process in itself, but for the city, called full depth reclamation, or FDR.
Right.
We proved it out on Rio Concho Drive, loved the results of it, and we said that's the perfect product for North Chadbourn.
Okay.
We get a solid base structure with the amount of traffic that goes down that roadway. We knew we needed something that was going to last and was going to be amazing, and I think that's what we got.
Well, and just talking to folks and driving out there, they went through that pretty quick. I mean, that was a very fast project.
Not only is FDR over a third of the cost, or less than a third of 2/3 of the cost of a full depth reclamation, full reconstruction. You get that benefit, but at a third of the cost. But the benefit of that too is just what you said. It's that time.
It's speed.
We worked very, very closely with the contractors. We had a very tight window in between the stock show and the rodeo.
Yep.
We wanted to hit that. We wanted this thing to be smooth, not only for the people that live in that area, but for everyone that was going to be visiting us for the rodeo as well. And I think we got it.
Oh, you certainly did. I mean, that road is amazing, and congratulations. We're so glad that it's done finally.
Yeah, I've got a lot of people that owe me an apology.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I've got a lot of bets out there to collect on.
And that comes on the heels of other successes. The A&M, for example, was it needed work as well.
A&M was one of those roadways that it wasn't even a road that was supposed to be rehabbed. It was a waterline project.
Right. And
we had a pretty substantial amount of money in that waterline project to patch the road. And it just became we became aware that just patching the road wasn't going to be good. It was going to be bumpy. It was going to be rough. And we've always kind of had some issues on that road anyway. So, again, we found the money, found a little over $1 million to get in there. And we said, let's just fix it. Let's do it right. We're going to be in there. let's just knock it out. And so we did a mill and overlay on that road, and like you said, I think that was a good call from our perspective.
Well, it's actually a pleasure to drive down that road now, and the Avenue N north end, I guess, of College Hills is the same way. I mean, it's very smooth, looks very good.
Well, you're hitting on a lot of things that I hope people are understanding, that we get a lot of flack back from the construction process and how hard it is and how people have to go around and everything. But what I hope people are also grasping now that they're seeing these projects is it's really awesome when we're done.
Yeah.
It's a short headache, and it is a headache, and we know that, and we do our best to make sure that, we facilitate traffic flow as best we can so it's minimal to everybody. But it's part of the process. There is a headache involved in it. But hopefully they're looking at those roads like you're talking about and say, wow, this is amazing. I can handle this for just a little bit if I have an awesome road to drive on every day from now on.
Well, and one of the things, Patrick, and I know that San Angelo's growing. We're not a small city anymore.
Right.
And the thing about it occurred to me that when I was younger, I first drove to Dallas and drove in the Metroplex. I was shocked that there was road construction, and I had to drive around it because there wasn't any in San Angelo.
Right.
In the 80s and 90s, it would be one project here, one project there.
Right.
Well, it looks to me like now we're a large enough city where there's going to be ongoing construction somewhere all the time.
Well, some people may not want to hear it, but that's absolutely what I hope for. Yeah. I think that's the only way to get our road system improved is to have a project going on at one time. In fact, like right now, we have 5 of them going on at the same time. And a lot of people say, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
So we can get it done. Every one of those projects are in different phases of their construction life. And there's no sense in me waiting to finish one to start another one. I'd be 3 years out from starting North Chadbourn. I'm done.
Right.
So why would I wait? Let's just get it in there, get it done, and get these people a good road to drive on as fast as we can.
Well, I like that approach. I really think that's what we need right now. And there's always a difference. Right now the loop, Main Street is blocked off because there's damage there, but that's not a city street.
It's not. A lot of people don't understand that there are a lot of roadways in San Angelo that are TxDOT maintained. And the Bryant, Sherwood Way, Knickerbocker, the Loop.
Yep.
There's a list of them that those are all TxDOT roadways. It takes none of our city money to take care of those. They handle all of those. So we cooperate with them and we give feedback back and forth to each other. So we've actually gotten a really good relationship in the last couple of years with TxDOT, much better than it was prior to this. So we've been able to work pretty closely with one another on those projects.
Yeah, and they have their own challenges as well because of all the growth in, I know talking to Drew Darby, all of the growth on the I-35 corridor, and the state dollars are all sucked in where the traffic is.
Right.
And that's why you have the I-14 and I-27, the interstate projects, to relieve some of that. But what happens is West Texas gets left out of the funding for TxDOT roadways.
And we've seen that in the past. We'd apply for different grant dollars here and there, and what you saw is all of that money went to that I-35 corridor.
Yeah.
We're seeing a change in that though, and I think you most recently saw it when we were awarded the TASA grant by TxDOT for an 18-mile or 11-mile sidewalk and connectivity loop all the way around town.
Yeah.
That's a project that your Austins, your San Antonio's, your Dallases, your Fort Worths, your Houstons, that's those kind of projects, not a San Angelo project. So to have the opportunity to provide something here, I think is amazing, and it's a testament to just what San Angelo is becoming as we do grow.
We are progressing, we're growing, and sometimes that's hard for some folks.
Right.
So we just have to keep telling folks that we're doing the best we can, and we're struggling, but it needs to be done.
And it is inevitable. I mean, you look at our university and how it's been blowing up.
Yep.
We have several street projects that are coming up that are Avenue N and Johnson Street right there through the university. So we're looking at those roadways and looking at the traffic patterns on that when we redo that and saying, is there a better way? Is there something different, a configuration that we can set up on that road to make traffic patterns better. So it's not just fixing the road.
Right.
We're hoping to improve that travel experience all the way around while we're doing these projects. Hopefully in our lifetime, you only get to do it once. And so we want to make the most of that.
Yeah, redesigning for today's traffic, tomorrow's traffic.
That's correct.
What projects are left in that $80 million 10-year?
So we're finalizing the design for Edmond Glenna 29th Street.
Okay.
So we're going from Chadburn Street all the way around to the Loop, getting all of that redone. We have design started on Sunset, and that's going to go from Loop 306 all the way to Foster Road, so that entire stretch of Sunset. And now we're about to start the design process on Avenue N from Sherwood Way to Chadburn, and then Johnson Street from Knickerbocker to Sherwood Way. So some pretty long corridors in there, but that's going to finalize that $80 million that council gave us back in 2015.
Okay, and then after that, it's re-examine where we are. And
after that, we've already kind of started those discussions with council and management on what's next. I mean, because we have to be looking ahead. It takes a year, 18 months to design these projects, and we don't want to be just sitting around twiddling our thumbs in the meantime.
Right.
We want these things ready to go so that they can just flow right into each other. And like I said earlier, kind of get a good road as fast as we can.
Well, and what I completely forgot about Howard Street.
So Howard Street's going right now. We're about 85-90% done with the utility side on the north side of the loop.
Okay.
We'll jump over and finish utilities on that, and then paving's coming right behind that.
Okay.
So
that's another good point. The utility construction on that south end of College Hills. There's a whole drainage system under there now.
Absolutely. And, College Hills is very unique because of that.
Mm-hmm.
We do address drainage, but typically in San Angelo, I think everybody's aware that our drainage system is our streets.
Is the streets.
That's the way it's designed to be. And so, but with College Hills, we were going to put a large amount of money into that project.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that if it still flooded, if it was still impassable, if it still couldn't drive on it, every time it rained just a little bit, it wasn't going to be successful.
Right.
And council knew that as well. So they were gracious enough to go find some grant dollars that they had stashed back for them and gave us $8 million to put that structure underneath there. So now all of that water that was on top of College Hills is now going under the roadway. So when it does rain, you can still drive on College Hills.
That's going to be a vast improvement there.
Don't get me wrong. In the right rains, it'll still overtop. We didn't have that much money.
Yeah.
But for the most part, for the most rains that San Angelo sees, we'll be all right.
Well, that's like I say, that's an improvement there.
It is.
We could talk all day.
We absolutely could.
But I always want to give you guys the last word. So if you have something you want to say, here's the opportunity.
I think I just want the public and the citizens to know that we understand how much this impacts their daily lives and how much it does affect them as they're coming to and from their homes and work and everything. We do take that into account, but we are out there. We're trying to do the best. We're very proud of what we do. We work very hard. Our maintenance crews work very hard to keep the streets up. So hopefully we can keep going, keep on that top priority that council gave us. And if there's ever any ideas, comments, suggestions, we're open to it. We love our jobs. We love to talk about what we do. So it's an open phone line. If anybody ever wants to call and just find out information, chat, give an idea, we definitely welcome that.
Well, and that's great, and it's good to know because we'll be calling.
We will, like I said, we welcome it. And a lot of times that's just what we struggle with is misinformation and just ignorance, in a good way. But we love to share what we do. Not many people are in this world, and we are, obviously, and so we love to share that information and just provide feedback. And surprisingly enough, a lot of times we do make adjustments based on feedback we get from the public too.
That's good to know. Speak up and you can help out the process.
That's it.
All right. Patrick, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks
Appreciate
for being
the time.
here. We'll go back to you guys.
It's hard to believe how reckless some people can be and how hard they fight against real victims. You need a partner who consistently beats the giants and who will never, ever flinch.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Concho's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Concho's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Concho stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Concho's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Thanks for watching the only locally owned live news show in the Concho Valley. We really appreciate your feedback in the comments section and letters to the editor. Thanks again for making San Angelo Live the #1 news source in the Concho Valley. We look forward to bringing you the news again throughout 2024, first as always. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.